I always forget how spicy some carbonated drinks are. Spicy. It's just the bubbles. Bubbles are aggressive. Hello, dear readers. My name is Caitlin Legaspi, the author of the young adult urban fantasy series Card Holders, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome, and thank you so much for taking the time to check this out. Today, I thought I'd share how I write my books and my journey from becoming a pantser, a person who writes without planning anything, to a planster, or a person who plans a bit and doesn't plan really in detail while writing their stories. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Hello, Editor Caitlin here. Sorry for the janky audio. I'm on my headset right now. So if I just want to give you a fair warning, if I stumble or stutter or trip, I guess that's a synonym of stumble over my words in this video from this point on until the end. That's because I'm wearing my aligners at the moment. So just wanted to let you know. Anyway, back to the video.
So my stories start with a single type of idea, and that single type only, and that is one central thing that the world or the magic system revolves around. For example, my fantasy trilogy I'm rewriting revolves around the idea that the world has one plane of one plane of existence for those living and another for dark spirits. In addition, my card holder series revolves around the idea that the world and magic system itself is based off the 52 cards in a standard playing card deck. And speaking generally to my new Inkwell trilogy that I'm also working on, that is a combination of a few ideas I had for separate projects, two of which are a magic system based on tattoos, which are now birthmarks, and a world with 3 planes of existence, which are basically heaven, hell, and the living world. All, and I mean all, of my stories start this way, and right after coming up with this singular idea comes the world building. And this is where my journey from pantser to planster starts, because I didn't begin making a full-on Word document of things about the world that may or may not make it into the book at first. And let me just show you. So this is the Word document for the world building of my Inkwell trilogy, blurred for obvious reasons. Now, I started writing when I was 12. Lord knows I was nowhere close to having a Word doc this long, 21 pages, and not complete, by the way. Yes, I got tired of world building beyond what I needed and just wanted to hop right into the story. I'm kind of impatient that way. I did not plan out much beyond what the main country or kingdom the world was named, and kind of fleshing out the main idea I had for the world. Nowhere near this, anyway. Long story short, as I got older, my writing became more intentional, especially with world building. Now, because of this, I'm not coming up with world building aspects right on the spot as I'm writing the story, and all the basic details and then some are right here in this precious Word document. And after the world building comes the characters. Yes, the characters, not the plot. So when I started planning my characters, I started with my main one first, of course. She has always been a woman or a girl, and it will probably stay that way, probably because I don't think I'd be able to write a realistic character point of view through the lens of a boy or a man, but that's just me. For my main character and minor characters, I have a dedicated spreadsheet, and let me pull one up just to show you guys. So this is the older version of my character sheet featuring my main character, Mila. I chose her because most of the information on her sheet is basically available to the public through my books. Eventually. At the very top of the sheet, you will always have, that's a spoiler, but you will always have the name of the character, of course, and after that will always be age, height, and any basic identification to whether or not they have powers, and a general description on how they look. Afterwards are the specifics to what their powers are. In this case, Neela has a ton. Any names of abilities, what they do, etc. And finally, after that, are weapons that assist them in battle. So in card holder specifically, you of course have the cards, and later on are the heartstones, and finally, the crystal card available to certain characters, including Neela. Neela's sheet wasn't always like this. As you can see in the age category here, this is her age by the time of my latest book that I'm currently working on right now, which is the last book of the series. Everything added after her cards had been added in chronological order according to the books, like the Heartstone and her true form, which I won't get into. Now, after card holders, I wanted to flesh out my characters a bit more outside of how they look, their age, their powers, the basics of their personalities, etc. And finally note down who I thought of them, or how I thought of them, rather, as a person. This is Alidi's character sheet. She is the main character of my Inkwell trilogy, and I love her to death. I'm not showing her entire sheet just due to spoilers, but I did want to show this section here called Extra Things. Hello. So within Extra Things are facts about the character that may or may not show up in the books and are very likely to not be of any relevance to the plot if they do make themselves known. Like my girl Alidi loves kids, but she doesn't want to be a mother herself. She prefers cats, she can't swim, and she loves sweets. Is there a reason why these are part of her character and not others? At this moment, no, but you bet if they show up in the story, I will create some backstory for it. Also, I always put some of myself into my main girls. Like Alidi absolutely loves going to libraries, cafes, and gardens, and she's an absolute bookworm. Not to mention she's a total introvert and will avoid people if she can. Finally, at the end of every one of my main girls' character sheets are their symbolic flower, which symbolize what the character values most or what they long for most in life. Kana's is a red rose, Neela's is a gardenia, and I'm still deciding on Alidi's, either the daffodil or the gladiolus. They both mean very different things, and her official flower will be based on what direction her story goes. Or she could have both and be the first main girl of mine to have two. Who knows? Finally, after world building and creating the most important characters, I finally get to plotting my story, which is actually the quickest step. You have to remember, I am not a, I am a planster, rather. You have to remember I am a planter and not a full-on plotter. Sometimes I don't even know how I want my stories to start. Other times I don't even know how I want them to end. But since becoming a planter, I do have a process for all of my stories. Before I explain that process, I've got a short story of how I became a planter, and it's actually really dumb. So it happens while I was writing my card holder series, late high school, I believe. I was in the process of writing book 4, So Broken, and let me tell you something. At the time, it was an absolute hot mess. There used to be a year time skip smack dab in the middle of the book. A year time skip, let me repeat that. So I took a break, looked back at my previous books in the series, and realized just how many loose ends there were because I didn't plot at all. So I told myself, yeah, I actually need to plot the rest of this out if I want any of it to tie together and make any sort of sense. Thus started the birth of my being a planter, along with the process I use to this day. If I know how I want my story to start, I enter this process right away. If I don't, I write out the first couple chapters to see what my main character decides to do, and then do this process. And the process is this. I just plot out the main story beats of what I'd like to happen. Important scenes that need to happen for the story to move forward until the story loses its clarity in my mind, since again, I don't even know how some of my stories will end until the characters decide for me. Whatever happens between those story beats, that's Not up to me. That's up to the characters. As long as the story beats happen, I'm all good for what occurs in between. And as I write out the story and learn more about it and my characters, usually I'm able to imagine the story beyond the last point of clarity and add on to the plot I'd already written out. I repeat this process until the story is finished. And that is all about how I write my books and my journey from becoming a pantser to a planster. And I hope you enjoyed, and let me know, if you're a writer, what are you? A pantser, a planter, or a plotter? In the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications of future videos. And if you'd like to check out my young adult urban fantasy series, Card Holders, the link to my website will be in the description down below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll be sure to see you all in the next chapter. Bye!